Today's show, AI for Success. Accept and implement. We're going to have a special discussion with my partner, friend, and fellow veteran, Lisa Deschamps, the 15-minute results coach and AI aficionado. I'm excited to say today's show is sponsored by Convene Communities, real life, real people, real experiences. You can join the community for free, build your community, create courses, collaborate, make passive income, and so much more. That is where my Solutionist Portal is housed, and we'll be happy to have you come be a part of the team. Hi, I'm Brenda Warren, the Solutionist. I see things other people often miss, and today I'm going to have a conversation that's long overdue with my pal Lisa. We're going to be talking about AI. Let me get Lisa into the stream. Let me see if I can push the button right today. There we go. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Brenda.
It is Face It Friday, and face it, I have been an AI novice. I'm getting better at it, but I was in total fear of AI because I feared none other than the AI takeover. Ooh, ooh. you know, the irrational fear of the AI takeover has been something we've been talking about lately with a lot of people. And I want you to, if you can, let's start off with what is AI?
So, we're going to talk about just the AI writing assistant tools today. But AI is just artificial intelligence. If you think about Siri, and you know how when you say, "Hey Siri, do this," it just going through. That's really what it is. It's natural language. So AI takes the input that you put in, and then it spits it out in a different format for you, whatever you've requested. And that's probably the most simplistic way of saying what AI is. It really, a lot of people have been really hesitant to use it because they've seen on the news, they've seen where a congressman put in one question and it came out with an entire report for them. Well, the reality is AI is designed to be a writing assistant for you or an assistant for you to help you create, design, do whatever. Anything a computer can do, there is an AI program for it.
Well, we're going to talk about AI as it relates to it being a writing assistant for most of this conversation. But I did want to touch on a couple of other things, which is the fear. I always say fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, which I've often done, or you can face everything and rise. It's all about choices, and it's your choice to decide when it comes to AI. Are you going to face everything and run, or are you going to, you know, face it and rise up? Because it really is a choice to either embrace AI or to run from it. And the reality is, AI is here to stay. It has been so neatly woven into everything we do. Grammarly, which is an editor, for those who may not know what that is, Canva, a graphic design program, in our Gmail, our Yahoo Mail, it is everywhere. I recently had a doctor's appointment and I have to do it online with, I'm a veteran, so My Healthy Vet is a program that I use for the VA. And I was surprised to see when I went in to write a message to my doctor that there was an AI prompt that was correcting me or helping me write what I wanted to write to my doctor. So AI really is weaved into our everyday way of doing business. What do you think about the fear people have about using AI as it relates to our everyday operations?
Well, I can appreciate the fear. Anytime we get anything new, people are hesitant. I mean, do you remember when the internet came on? Oh my goodness, that was hysterical watching the news clips from back then. But, the reality is everybody can do something bad with everything, no matter how good it is. So it's one of the most adaptable programs that you can possibly have. And yes, if you're afraid of it, that's why you want to start small and do it now while the programs are free. Because ChatGPT has a free version, Bard.Google has a free version. So, and there's a lot of free versions out there, by the way, because everybody is still in beta testing. So Bard calls it experimental times. Other people call it beta testing. There's a lot of names for them. But the more input that goes in, then the better off the program is going to be in the end.
Now, I hear you often say, as you've been helping me get my feet, solidly planted in the AI world, about the beta testing. Why do you keep stressing that point that we're currently in beta?
Because I want people to understand why the programs are free. One of the things with AI, and one of the fears that several people have talked about, was they're afraid of getting so attached to it. And they're afraid of they're going to be relying so heavily on it that they're going to end up, when it goes down, they're not going to be able to do their job. Mm-hmm. If you use it intentionally, that's not going to happen. But the reason I keep harping on the beta is because it's not perfect. It's got a lot of flaws to it. Mm-hmm. But also because I want people to understand why it's free, so that if they have a bad experience, and several people had bad experiences, they get incorrect information out of it, just understand that it's still in the testing phase. They're still getting more data. They'll clean it up and it'll get better over time. But that means once it's out of beta testing, it means that they're most likely going to charge you for it. Or for the ones that are free, it's free up to 20,000 words. Because when I started back in 2020, some of the programs were unlimited amounts of words, and some of the programs were so many words per month. And depending on how many words you needed a month, the price went up.
And you know what I think is interesting about that, Lisa? If you see a lot of the different programs, not just AI programs, but programs in general, if you are a small business owner and you're using things like, I edit my videos, so I use Filmora Wondershare. I bought that as a lifetime access to it. But once they had the program rock solid, they limited what we could all of a sudden get, even though we paid lifetime. And I did not like that. But a lot of programs will start off letting you have unlimited access or lifetime when it starts, and then they close it down, and then they start charging monthly, weekly, or annual fees that are really pretty high. So it's good to get in on programs when they first started, which is what is nice about all the programs that are out there now. Why you have the opportunity, get them for free, use them, and get familiar with them so you can make an informed decision on which AI program works best for you. Today, before we get into the training and things that you have, Lisa, I want to talk about a thing that will help hopefully eliminate some fears, which is reskilling and upskilling. People's skills, their ability, and their knowledge, and how that can help them to navigate the AI landscape. Could you talk about that?
I am an avid believer in reskilling and upskilling. So it's not retraining. And I want to be clear, if you're in the HR world, your mind is going to go into retraining. It's not. It's reskilling, because what you want to do is you want to add an additional skill to the skills the people already have. And to reskill, it's easy. It's okay. Your skill set is writing, content writing. Well, AI can bring it in. Let me show you how to use it and enhance your job and make your job easier, and also make the product better. Now, on the skilling side, that's more designed for the people who you're doing social media and you're doing content, but now that you have this additional piece, let's add strategies onto that. Let's add different types of content that we couldn't do before. So that's the reskilling and the upskilling. And if you do it, you don't have to worry about laying people off, because when you add more skills to people, regardless of what it is, and you train them, then that actually enhances what they can do and enhances your product and your services as you continue.
Now, a lot of people, they'll hear that reskilling, and I keep wanting to say scale. Reskilling and upskilling. Say that fast 2 times or 3 times, maybe even 10. I don't know. I digress. Anyway, that's a shiny object, those 2 words, reskilling and upskilling. Yes. Now, and I want to stop there just for a minute, Lisa, because say for someone that is, say, a social media manager that's been doing things, they've been making money, helping people write their content. And now they're afraid AI is going to take their job because now everybody with AI can write their own content. But it's my contention that even if you can write your own content, the reality is most people still don't know how to put it together. So if you're that content writer, you now have a tool that can help you put out more work, more, what is it? Be more productive, be more
In this
concise, and
case,
also have create templates, right?
right. It's also they can add more uniqueness to what they're doing. See, when you are in social media and you constantly are building up all of this content, a lot of times you're reusing content where AI can help you with that. And for somebody who is paying somebody to do their social media content and thinks, oh, well, you know what? I can just go ahead and create my own content. I no longer need a social media person. Well, you really want to rethink that, because the reality of it is there's a lot more to writing content and putting stuff on
Absolutely.
social media than just the blurb.
Absolutely.
And you really don't want to use generic cookie cutter. And I know that when I say that, people say AI is not cookie cutter. Actually, believe it or not, AI is cookie cutter, because somebody behind the scenes set it up to do certain tasks and do things certain way and respond certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a computer system, there's people that did that. And in some cases, as we get farther along in AI, computers are going to be refurbishing how things are said, because they're just like everything else. The computer is going to be taught how to respond and how to create more templates and things, because that's just the process you go through. So there's a lot to social media and there's a lot to content writing. And so if you are looking at it, start small and make sure that that's what you want to do before you let a content writer go. I'm just saying, and before you let any of your employees go, consider how much better they could be reskilling, upskilling.
Okay, so how much better it can be before they do that. Okay, well, let's go into the one thing I wanted to add before we got into how to use AI, which is warning, warning, Will Robinson, warning. For those of you, I just aged myself, didn't I, Lisa? I
Yeah,
used to
you
love
did.
Lost in Space, warning, warning, Will. Anyway, do not, I repeat, do not, for those of you in the back that may not hear me, do not use personal data when using AI. Lisa, I saw some people using some things the other day, and I thought, please, God, tell me they're not doing that, because most of these AI platforms are open. They're not closed, and there is a difference. Open means everybody has access. Closed means it's a private, probably proprietary system, and there are not a lot of those, but most of the ones we're using here out and about are open. So if you put your social security number out there, you've just put it out there into the web world. Don't do that. And some people have gotten so comfortable, they'll put anything in there. What has been your experience with trying to get people not to put their personal data when writing client avatars? Not just their personal data, but other people's personal data. When you're building marketing material or material for a client, don't use their personal data as well.
Don't even use their name. Forget about the person. The personal data is huge, but don't even put somebody's name in it. Put an initial, put something else, make up a name, and then when you download it, change it out. The reason for that is because, like Brenda said, it's open up to everybody. Even the program Jasper that I use, it can hide. I can click a box that says hide so that Jasper doesn't see it, so that the system doesn't see it and use it. But the reality is it's still out there, and I still will not put people's names out there, because we are in a world where everybody can hack everything. So when you think about using it, just put fake names in there. And as I tell my clients and as I tell the people that I train, just be cautious and remember that everything is on the internet.
And Lisa, what I think is interesting is a lot of people don't realize that although ChatGPT, Bard, and Jasper will put out stuff for them, they still have to go back and edit it. It still will require a human eye if you really want to be sure the information that's being put out is accurate, grammatically correct, and just something that you want to put out with your name on it. So I do not advocate for those people. Is that the right word? I do not recommend that people produce something with AI and fail to edit or do a grammar check on it, because you definitely need to make sure it's saying what you want to say and that is grammatically correct. Because sometimes that email, that lead magnet, that book, whatever it is, will be the first time somebody sees you or is made aware of you. And are you being properly represented if you don't take the time to do the edits? Any thoughts on that, Lisa?
100% true. Nothing I use in AI goes straight out without me putting my personal touch. When I put information in, I'm putting in a lot of information and usually just having it rewrite or rephrase for me. But even then, I am carefully reviewing it to make sure it sounds like me, to make sure it feels like me, to make sure that it's accurate. And I've told you this several times, but I wanted AI to tell me who the top military veterans were who had failed and then succeeded in life after the military. And one of the people it came up with was Steve Jobs. And I know my military, there was no way Steve Jobs, but I go looking because it says that it's there. So then I went and I told it to provide me the source for where I got it from. And the source that it listed was rumors on the web.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm like, so that was kind of my reality kick in the butt that says, okay, if it's going to take the rumors, then we also have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because with AI, remember, 50% of the stuff on the web is wrong.
That's
because
true.
50% of the web is things that people put out without doing any research, without any content. It's their personal opinion, their personal interpretation, etc. So that's what you're going to get.
And, you know, Lisa, that brings me into why I wanted you to come on and talk about your AI training day. Do you like this slide, Lisa? I love this.
I love that slide.
Because my little AI bots are in there training, and I have really enjoyed you. I've been fortunate, you guys. I get one-on-one training almost daily from Lisa about something new as it relates to AI. And last week, I was privileged to attend one of Lisa's lunch and learns, her free overview of AI. That's already happened. But Lisa, tell them about why you wanted to start the training. Then we're just going to go and I have slides on your different trainings. But before I put up the 6 sessions, just tell them why you thought it was important to create this training and what you created it under. Was it Take Action University? Was it the your Chamber of Commerce? What was it?
So I actually created it underneath my personal business.
Okay.
I have 2 websites for my personal business: Your 15 Minute Coach, and then Take Action University. I put this one underneath my Take Action University site because it's really all about taking action.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the challenges when I work with clients and they're using AI and they're coming to me with the information and I'm cringing. They're not seeing that I'm cringing, but I'm cringing because I can tell they just threw in a few words and they ended up with something. And they were so excited with what they ended up with. I realized I had to teach them the structure of how to use AI. But teaching somebody the structure also requires a little bit more. And since I'm a 15-minute results coach, which means you don't get a lot of time with me, I needed to do something that gave people a little bit more time, that at the end, they'll get a worksheet, they'll give them things to do, and they can practice before the next class. Even though each class does not build upon each other, in other words, you could take session 4 only and you still be good because the information you're going to get in there is valuable and gives you what you need. Okay. And that is why when I created the sessions, it was more because I see people drowning in fear with AI. I see people being so excited with such poor quality information. I really wanted to teach people how to use it right by giving them the structure, explaining what commands are, explaining different things in the system and how to take your content, because people are making all kinds of content, but now they're confused as to, wait a minute, I got all this content. Now what do I do?
That's true. I was one of those, but I'm going to put up a slide here that has all 6 of your sessions on it. But I want you to go with me because I did download them, and I have them each session by session. It is called From Fear to Fluent, Demystifying AI Writing Assistant Programs. It's a virtual lunch and learn series by Lisa Sherm, the executive results coach and team building coach. And it's 6 weeks. It's going to be every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. It started on November 15th, and the end date is December 20th. There are 5 more sessions, Lisa?
Yes.
5 more sessions left. They're $24.99 each, or you can get the whole bundle for $99.97. And we're going to go step by step for each session just briefly. So we're going to, before we go into what session number 2, which is coming up next Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving, this Wednesday coming. Okay. Yeah. That is on the 22nd.
Yes.
Okay, on the 22nd, this Wednesday. I had some people say, why then? Why not? You're getting ready for Thanksgiving. Come on. Lunch and learn, people. That's what it's called, lunch and learn. And we don't let holidays or different days affect us, because in the military, you make it happen no matter what's going on around you. I want to start first because they all do run in a series. It's about From Fear to Fluent. But why did you specifically pick the writing aspect of AI?
Because people are so overwhelmed with the word AI that I wanted to pick something that was so natural for people. Everybody uses a computer. I don't know a single person. Well, no, I probably do know 1 or 2 who don't use computers. But, everybody uses a computer. Mm-hmm. And, there's so many AI. I have over 100 AI programs. You just get so overwhelmed. It's like, oh, wow, there's a bunch of free extensions for Chrome that are AI related. So I wanted to start with something simple, just the AI writing assistant programs themselves, because I think you need to get comfortable with it before you jump into the other AI.
Okay, let's start with session number 2. Tell us about this right here, the objective, and what you're going to be talking about there.
So the objectives for all of them is just to really educate the participants with just the basic uses of the different AI writing assistance programs and how to leverage them. Mm-hmm. So basically, we do only use 3. We use Bard, Google, ChatGPT, and Jasper. There's a lot more, but I like those because they're 3 distinctively different type of programs. And that's why we show each one. And in all 3 of those, we're actually going to talk about how to use them for the tools and the platform so that people can actually get comfortable with using it. And I'm going to give them tips for optimizing their AI writing assistant usage. So one of the things I did last week is I explained the commands. I will always explain the command structure at the beginning of every session, just in case there's people who were not there. And also as a refresher to people who are there, because the command structure is so important in everything you do using any AI writing assistant. So regardless of the one that you use, that's what we're going to do. And I'm also going to go over some features and functionalities, because I think it's important. A lot of us, and I always use the phone as a really good example, but a lot of us don't bother actually learning how to use it. We just jump into it. And people will tell me, oh, I already use AI. I said, okay, tell me how you write your command. And when they can't tell me how they write their command, they're just throwing in words. I'm like, well, we've got some best practices here to integrate it, and then integrate it actually into your commands.
So that's session number 2. And then we have session number 3. That's streamlining content creation with AI writing. And how is that important to streamline?
Well, what happens is when you start using AI, and one of the tips, that everybody teaches is you can have AI write it all at one time. And it's really great when you do that. But the problem is you're not streamlining it properly. What you're doing is you're just gathering all this content, and you're not thinking about, am I using it here? Am I using it there? Is there a particular holiday I'm using it at? So I want people to really start streamlining their content in the way that they're using it. I want them to put it on an Excel spreadsheet so that they've got the information, so it's easy to pull up. They can use Word, Excel, whatever it is they're comfortable with. But that's what we want to do for the streamlining.
Okay. The fourth session is tailoring writing style and tone with AI tools. Now, this is one of my favorite ones because when I realized that I could make AI happy, upbeat, or persuasive, or speak in someone else's voice, like my favorite comedian or like Seinfeld, that was a game changer for me. It was just really fun. Talk about that.
It is. It's actually one of my favorite things. So, a lot of times our writing styles are a certain way, and the tone we want in our emails or in our social media and etc. If we can add that, we change the AI content itself because we have it right with a certain style and we have it pick a certain tone. And like you said, persuasive. If I'm doing copy for a Facebook ad, I want it to be persuasive.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if I want funny, because that's not something that I'm good at,
Mm-hmm.
I will actually have AI write something sarcastic / funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, you will not catch me funny, but you will catch me sarcastic. So I want to make sure it sounds like me. So I'll have it use those voice tones. So whenever you're using and writing something, you want to tell it what voice tone to use. If your system eventually starts to pick you up, so I use it a lot and I maintain the same, I change my voice tones, but I maintain the same writing style,
Mm-hmm.
then it will over time start picking that up.
I think it's also important too because when you set up your AI tools, it's important to think about your business and your brand. If you have a luxury brand, you do not want a sarcastic tone when you're writing your memos. Same thing if you have a funeral service, you don't want funny. So you want to make sure that the tone of voice being used in the writing represents your brand and your business. That's why I really liked that particular class. Now, session number 5 is all about using AI for business model canvas and client tools. That's like your customer avatar, correct? And things of that nature, because I was really excited when I realized that by creating templates, I could help my clients really flush out who their ideal customers were, help them write their mission statements, their goals. That was awesome because it used to take me quite a while to do those things. And as someone with a traumatic brain injury, that was a very long time doing that. Now I literally can create a template, plug in the industry, what the people doing, their different things, and voila, I have a framework to work from. And then we can tweak it from there, but we don't have to do a lot of heavy lifting. So that particular class, how important do you think that particular one is? If they didn't take any other one, if you're a small business owner, I think this is one of the ones you really need to take.
And I agree. But another reason why I like this, I think everybody needs a business model canvas. I harp on it all the time because a business model canvas, for those who don't know, it gives you a 1-page overview of your business, who your key clients are, who you work with, what you do. It's a 1-pager and it's really good. But what this also shows you is a way that most people are not using AI. And in that particular case, I talk about the strategy of finding your client avatar. So when I talk about creating your client avatar, and then I take you to how you use that client avatar once you have it, we also talk about the buyer persona, the buyer avatar, because a lot of times you have more than one product. You're a perfect example. You've got the solutionist portal, but then you also have the publishing side of your business.
Mm-hmm.
And so those buyers are going to be two completely different people.
Absolutely.
So it's good to have a buyer persona for both of them. And some of the information will overlap. And that's what's really nice about it. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to give you a general overview. And so this session 5 gives you a unique way of using the AI writing assistants. And then as you see, and we go through a couple of different business model canvases, I'll switch over to a SWOT analysis because people need to know their strengths and their weaknesses, opportunities and threats, and to see how that can automatically come in right after a business model canvas, it then opens your mind to other ways that of things that you are doing or not doing that you've wanted to do. But
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, people freak out when you say, "Have you created a business model canvas?" You'd ask them if I created their business plan. But it can be overwhelming. And that's why it's nice to have an assistant, which is what AI is. AI is
Mm-hmm.
only an assistant, help you out.
And I think what's interesting about this for me, Lisa, was realizing as I came into this, I have had businesses since I was 9 years old. My first legal business, I had my little business license for Brenda's Candy Store when I was 9 years old. And at 9 years old, of course, I didn't know what a business plan was, although I did have one because I had written out on my little piece of paper. And, you get in the habit of doing things a certain way, not understanding that there is a whole wide world of how business should be done. And as someone that's helping other businesses scale up and really set rock solid foundations, AI is a new way for me to streamline the process and ensure that they really have a rock solid foundation that they can put their hands on and build their business successfully. And so this particular class I'm really excited about. And then number 6 is your overcoming writer's block with AI assistant. You know, the final class I thought was the perfect class to have it because although you've had all these different steps going through these classes, even when you're just creating simple content, an email, a lead magnet, books that establish your expertise, or a letter to squash a customer complaint, or or a letter to respond to customer praise, or a letter just in general, you can have writer's block and not necessarily have the correct words to say. But with AI, they can give you a base if you just have a general sense of what you want to say and put it in a way that eliminates that and give you the framework to work from.
Exactly. And that's what's beautiful about the AI writing assistant. You can just take whatever it is you're thinking in your head, and you don't even have to have the structure. Whatever it is you're thinking in your head, and put it in AI and ask it for help. And I think that that's one of the best things about the AI helping with writer's block. But there's also part of writer's block is if you're having a, let's do Small Business Saturday. By the time this is done, Small Business Saturday will be over with, but let's use the new year. Let's say you want to do something for the new year, but your creativity is just not there because you're exhausted, everything's gone on, everything happening in the world. You can actually have it generate ideas for your new year event. And you can have creative, unique, inexpensive, free, however it is you put, whatever
Mhm.
prompts you put into the AI writing assistant programs, and you can put that in there. And that's what's really nice about that is it can really help you create the ideas. But I'll tell you, and you've seen it work this way, there are times where, I have to say something to somebody either for the loss of a family member or a friend is going through a hard time. I am not good with those kind of words. So
Mhm.
it's nice I can say what I would normally say, and then AI will make it nicer. And I was really mad one day, and I was just typing away saying rephrase. No, I had it rewrite because I wrote some words I did not want it to rephrase into there. So I had it rewrite, and it used the word disheartening. And I thought, oh, I like that. Because I
Mhm.
was mad. Disheartening is not the word I used, but it was nice because it gives you an inspirational way to properly, professionally respond.
And I wanted to know the person that wrote the comment. I will definitely check my inbox, something I don't often do. But Lisa, I also wanted to say that there all these sessions here, and I need to put the banner out so they can get to the QR code if they choose to. There's a QR code here where you can get information for either the bundle or write directly to Take Action University. I'm gonna leave that up for a minute while I tell you, one of the things I love about these particular courses, Lisa, are that they are happening at a time just before the holidays and also just before the new year, which gives a small business the opportunity to prepare themselves for what is about to come. because the reality is many small businesses are not AI fluent and they need the help. And I'm going to take this down now. They need the help in order to get their businesses up and running in a way that is going to streamline their process, hopefully automate a few things, because as we go through the last part of this year, there are sales campaigns that can be championed. There are sales campaigns that can be put in place. You can be planning your content for all of next year or just all of the first quarter of 2024. You have so many options. By taking these particular trainings, you can get the training, you and your staff, your team members can get the training you need for a reasonable price to get yourself out of fear and being fluent in AI. I hope that this has been helpful for those of you that have been watching. You go to https:/takeactionuniversity.com/events to get information on the bundle or the individual classes. As Lisa stated before, these classes all stand alone. She's going to give you what you need. So take the class that you need. You may not need all of them, but if you know, like I know, you'll take them all because they really are going to be good for you. Lisa, what are some of the ways you are currently using? What are some of the ways you're currently using AI to prepare for the holiday season? Don't we have like Black Friday coming up, some other sales and different things?
We do. And so one of the things that I'm doing is I'm working on my lead magnet specifically because I have some challenges coming up with the AI writing program. So I'm creating some lead magnets and using AI to help, because for me, and you and I've had this discussion before, I've been using it for so long that I sometimes forget that people don't know as much as I do.
Yes.
And I have a tendency to skip over things because I just like, oh, well, no, I'll copy and paste and everybody's going to get it.
Right. No, it doesn't work that way.
And it's nice because I've been able to use AI in that sense. And as far as going out and doing my social media, I used my AI for my social media. Right now, I'm using AI to create my graphics to go with my social media so that I can combine it all together. And so it's really, I've asked for a couple of ideas because as an executive results and team building coach, one of the things is I'm really a standalone. And because I work from home and we do everything over the internet, I wanted to make sure that there were ways that I could reach my clients and help them without having to worry about reaching the wrong clients. So I readjusted my client avatar and I'm doing my A/B testing on my ads for those kind of things and see how well one does over the other.
And Lisa, that's one of the things I would say I loved when you started teaching me about AI, because I was one of the people that was running away from AI because I just didn't understand it. But as a closeout, I did want to add some things. For those of you that may be sitting on the fence saying, you know what, I don't know if I need all this training or stuff or how you do it. I asked AI to give me 10 reasons that a small business may want to use AI. And I'm going to tell you what those 10 are and the different, and this will tell you why you definitely want to take Lisa's training so that you can go. Number one, it said as a virtual assistant. They talk about Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa. Did you know that was AI? I had no idea. As a chat bot. Did you know that AI can answer your emails and your Instagram so that you're not the one always doing it? I had no idea that that was happening. And then I started checking some things with different people. Lisa, and it's not even the person answering me. It's a chat bot. Who knew? I didn't. Data analytics tools. I know it's data analytics tools. There you go. You need to know where you're at. Lisa taught me how to determine, using AI, where my audience was. See, when I first started, I was given advice to be everywhere all at once, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, do it, everywhere. But I had like 2 Twitter views. Why am I spending all that time putting stuff on Twitter and then nobody listen to me on Twitter? So I could stop that. But I would not have known that had I not done the analytics training. There are tools there was something called natural language processing. That was high level. I didn't need that, but I mentioned it because it's there. Somebody might know what that is. You may need it. I don't. It's for sales and CRM automation. That's for sales and customer relation management, CRM. It can help you manage your customers, your sales, and that is something that you can use HubSpot for or other programs. There is also small business leveraging. It talks about that. You want to know what your competition is doing, who's doing what, why they're doing it, and AI can help you kind of figure that out with the right questions. And Lisa can show you that in some of her classes, how you can do that. They talk about email marketing automation. How many of you have heard of MailChimp or Constant Connect? Is that what it is? Or
Constant Contact?
Constant Contact. I know it's something constant, but anyway, you can do all that. That's AI. There are AI content creation platforms like blog posts and social media captions, all different kinds that they have out there, like Vista Social. You can do it in Canva. There are so many kinds. Social media management was one of them also. Again, Hootsuite and Sprout. Those just to name a few. And of course, number 10 was my favorite AI thing, was cybersecurity solutions. Lisa, I had not realized I could use AI for that. But as early as today, when I was researching for this particular topic, I found out by a thing called CrowdStrike. Had never heard of that before, but there are so many of them out there. So the bottom line is AI has an ability for you to really streamline your processes. It can help you save time, but most importantly for me was it's going to help me save money. And Lisa, you know my favorite thing, it's going to help me make money because I'm a money magnet. I'm making money in my sleep, and the AI is going to help me do that. Thank you, Lisa, for coming on here today on My Face It Friday and dealing with me with my fears about AI and telling people about your training, which again are lunch and learns that are happening every Wednesday up until December 20th from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern. You go to takeactionuniversity.com to find /events to find out information. Lisa, is there anything else you'd like to let people know before we close out today?
No, just that if you are afraid of AI, the reality is you want to practice now while it's free. I can't stress the fact enough that they're going to start charging for this because them using the AI system costs so much money because of all the processing in the back, not to mention the high salaries they have to pay the people who work on it. So use it while it's free. It's okay if you decide not to use it, but at least try it.
Thanks, Lisa. We went a little bit longer than we normally do, but I thought it was important so that you knew exactly what was coming up here. Lunch and Learns is something fun to do. It's a small time out of your day to start getting to where you need to be so that you go from fear to fluent with AI. As always, I'd like to remind each and every one of you, the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. So choose wisely and choose to be fluent in AI. Be blessed, everyone.